Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Pokke Village Hunters. I'm Adele.
I'm Rin.
And today we will be talking about, I guess, a farewell to Monster Hunter Tri. Rather, it's online.
Well, Monster Hunter Tri in general, since I think everybody's pretty much moved on to Tri Ultimate at this point.
Except you. You're still playing Freedom Unite. I'm on to you. So, yeah, as of April...
get all the things!
You don't get anything for it, though.
Sure you do. You get awards. I want to fill out my awards things.
Anyway, as of April 30th, the Tri servers have gone down, which is unfortunate. Capcom decided to shut them down entirely, so we might be a little scarce on the recorded material together, I suppose.
Until you get a Wii U.
Until you get an HD television.
Wow. I can still record off of it with my crappy cap card, but...
Yeah, I think you should upgrade that too first.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, go get a real job. Anyway, yeah, during the whole month, Capcom had the last Jin Moran, and then there was just nothing on the event boards.
Which is... It's like, why Capcom?
I mean, they could have put, anything up there, or they could have just kept the schedule, but...
They could have just left Gen there.
A permanent Gen. That is a true festival of fear.
Yeah.
How horrifying.
The server goes down when Locklack is buried under sand.
No. So, in today's episode, we'll be talking about Locklack and more on Moga Village, I suppose, the lore of it, and some of the things actually revealed in 3 Ultimate about the village and the people inhabiting it. So... but first, before we jump into that, I guess we'll talk about... Yes. Monster Hunter Online. I'll let you have it this one.
Oh, okay. Capcom announced they were allowing another company called Tencent to work on a Monster Hunter title called Monster Hunter Online. It has very shiny graphics. What is the name of the engine that you're using? Was it Crytek 3 or something like that?
Something like that.
There's a trailer up. You can find it on YouTube.
But, we'll put in the link down below.
There you go. So very shiny graphics. They did not, however, update any of the animations. So I was watching that and I was kind of like, ooh.
What's wrong? It's shiny, but it's still...
The arms are clipping through the armor still, and just... The rendering is gorgeous, but the animations are so old.
Typical Chinese product.
Typical Capcom right there.
Just like my American flag from China. What?
Anyway.
Is that where they come from?
So yeah, there was rumor that it was going to be released in the West. They retracted that. There's no confirmation on that. It says international release, but remember, people, international does not necessarily mean in the West.
It means outside of Japan.
Yeah, outside of China and Japan, which could be Taiwan and Korea. And that's it,
Or just France.
Or just France. But yeah, so don't get your hopes up just yet. At most, I think we can hope for that maybe they won't boot the Western players off like they do in Frontier. And
yeah, those were good. Those were good stories we had trying to get on.
Oh God!
Let's not share those right now.
That's not. But yeah, if you guys are gonna go check that out, there's not a whole lot else to talk about that because they haven't revealed very much.
But Capcom may not be bringing us online, but they are pushing for Monster Hunter 4 to be released in the West.
According to a press release. Released just today, actually. A couple hours ago. They're
apparently pushing for bigger numbers with Monster Hunter 4 and Lost Planet 3 in the West.
Hopefully.
So, hopefully.
It was a little vague how it was worded, but
Well, okay, hang on.
You want to read it straight off?
As for product strategies for the current fiscal year ending in March 31st, 2014, the company will take an aggressive stance focusing to promote large-scale titles with Monster Hunter 4 for 3DS and Lost Planet 3 for PS3 and 360, focused on the domestic and overseas market respectively.
Yeah, it's that respectively that's kind of got me a little confused.
Honestly, I would take that as here, we're going to give you this game because we realize how well 3U sold.
Yeah, they keep selling out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm not entirely certain if that's just because they expected it to do so badly, so they didn't stock it, and now it's like, oh, it's doing decently, but
there's no way. I think 3 Ultimate was the game that the 3DS and the Wii U needed.
True, very true.
Granted, I am planning to drop $400 just to get Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, even though I already own it on the 3DS.
Yep, just so you can play online.
I mean, I want to play,
and record shiny HD graphics.
Oh yes, and play with my friends over across the pond.
Yes, because they did merge the European and the North American servers.
Yes, they put out a patch so you can play with the EUs and you can play it on the gamepad.
Yes, which I have been doing because my television sucks and it works very well. I quite enjoy it. The only bad thing about it is that you can't really use the lock-on camera while you're doing it, because you have to tap the monster icon, and you can't tap it if you're playing on the gamepad. But it's really not that bad. It's just like playing Monster Hunter Tri, where you just had to move the camera.
Because you have a second analog, you shouldn't be having that problem anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so we've gotten the news out of the way. Oh right. We asked a Fortnite question, didn't we, last time?
Yes, we did.
Alright, let me bring up our results, because we got a couple of answers.
Let's see what we got.
I like how we didn't have this ready. We're actually going to it right now. That's definitely not a thing we should be doing too often. Alright.
I'll let you pull it up, because my keyboard makes noise.
Yes, it does. Maybe you should get a good computer one day.
Someday.
Like a real computer.
Not a waffle iron like my current one is.
Please, no more waffle irons. Yo, you can cook a mean pizza on that thing, though. I'm never going to deny that.
Yep.
Alright, so our Fortnite question was favorite Monster Hunter weapons. And our big boss, KC, got back to us, and he does love gunning in multiplayer. He loves great swording for solo, and apparently his favorite is the Epitaph Blade.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had Dis, who is like our hunting buddy, I suppose, on the show. Maybe we'll have him on for his segment whenever he decides to get it together. Dis. He loves the Switch Axe, and he really likes the Demon Bind series, which I can agree to. Demon Bind really does look cool with all the moving parts.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And he gives a special mention to the the Acantor Switch Axe, which, if you remember in P3, how cool that thing was. Yeah, and as for me, mine was the hammer. I love hammering, but if we're going to go with aesthetics, I love the Ravager series greatsword, which upgrades into the Mutilator.
Mm-hmm.
Still, because it's been in every Monster Hunter, and for me, it kind of comes off as the iconic weapon. In every trailer, the hunter shown will somewhere or always have the Ravager blade on him.
Pretty much.
So, what about you? What was yours?
My favorite weapons are the dual blades, as far as classes go. But as far as aesthetics go, I think I'm gonna have to go with Sinister Saints Switch Axe. As far as aesthetics go, because it looks awesome, and it makes those awesome sounds, like this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Although I would say the what was it? The feline Switch Axe from P3 was pretty.
Yeah.
That one is great for the noises it makes. Oh, also a mention to the large popcorn gun lance.
Oh yes.
Yes, we can never forget that.
Never forget popcorn gun lance.
Never. And it's actually a good weapon too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So moving on, Mogalore.
Yes, Moga Village, the offline village in Monster Hunter Tri, and Monster Hunter Tri Ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be showing the cinematic in the background. Yes.
Yes.
While we do this, interesting to note. I love how they showed the Argosy at the very beginning of it. Yes, that is the Argosy, however you pronounce it. The captain's ship.
Yeah, the Argosy.
The trading ship.
Okay, go on.
And
this is you. This is you're. I'm just the voice. You are supposed to be. Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
I was going to mention one thing. When you said we were talking earlier, and you said you wonder how Junior got those bones. If you think about it, it could just be small monster bones. Technically, he could have just beat up an Aptonoth.
Or he went up to like Area 8 on the deserted island where all the bones are and just picked up some and ran off with them.
Quite possible, but we'll get into what we were discussing earlier a bit later. Anyway, go on.
Okay. Oh, by the way, everybody always has a horrible reaction to the bright teal thongs that the guys are all wearing.
I don't see a problem.
In Moga Village.
I don't see a problem.
I think they are supposed to be technically fundoshi, which are technically Japanese
underwear.
Basically, traditional Japanese underwear, but mostly now used as swimwear.
Yes.
So that makes sense if you live on a village built on rafts. To have your swim trunks on the whole time, or at least most of the time.
At least most of the time.
So there is a reason behind that besides just weird Japanese.
Good times.
But anyway, let's see. As far as the history of Moga Village goes, long time ago, we've talked about the ruins that are spotted around Deserted Island and all that before.
Yes.
Long time ago, there was an ancient civilization there, and it was attacked by, we assume, the sea deists, and destroyed. And sometime later, the descendants of those people, because they weren't wiped out, they just driven away, the descendants of the people came back and tried to rebuild so they could, protect the ruins as sort of, honoring their ancestors, that sort of thing. But they were attacked by sea deists again, and driven away, and their buildings sunk into the water, and all that horrible stuff. And the chief of Moga Village, he wasn't the chief at that point, but he managed to get in with a guild archaeological expedition to go to the deserted island, and convince them to help him rebuild Moga Village.
Yes.
Or build Moga Village, rather. On top of that. And then, of course, we all know what happens then. Sea Deus comes back, but he gets driven off by the hunter, and yay, Moga Village is saved.
So, essentially, they were there, Sea Deus sunk them, then they came back, and it sunk them again.
Yep.
Well, I will go with that. One thing has always bugged me. There are the ruins underneath, but what about the ruins that are all along the island as well? Like in Area 7, and Area 9, I believe, and then 10, of course, is underwater, but...
Right. I don't know. Those could be from the Dragon War that we were talking about.
Okay.
That's
fair enough.
But...
So, do you think Moga, the deserted island, rather, was a lot taller, and Sideus kind of made it fall down a bit? Because all those ruins are underwater.
Yeah, that's probably what happened to most of it. It just sunk under the water.
That's horrifying.
Kind of like Atlantis.
Ugh. So it just rocked it so hard it just fell into the water.
Yeah, and even if the ruins that are above water still were not from the Dragon War, but from, when Sidious was around, he causes earthquakes.
That's true, yeah, by knocking his horn.
Even if he doesn't sink the place, you don't want to be hanging around there too much.
Right. And it's so weird. All he does is knock his horn up against the landmass, and it causes an earthquake, which is ridiculous.
Monster Hunter logic.
But remember, the Sideus you fend off isn't a full-grown one, apparently.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, Goldbeard,
really?
If you read his description, is apparently a full-grown one because the horn has grown over his second eye.
Ooh, okay.
That's
interesting.
That is a mature Sideus.
I hadn't got that far yet.
Oh, spoiler.
Yeah, in case you haven't guessed already, spoilers for Monster Hunter Try Ultimate and Try.
You'll be fine.
Do we really need to say that?
No, not at all.
But anyway. Speaking of the chief, talk a little bit about his history. He used to be a hunter. He specialized in underwater battles.
Poor guy.
But he was actually driven into retirement by the Ivory Legicris.
Which I don't understand, but...
because he couldn't beat it. He fought it and he fought it and he fought it, and he just couldn't kill the damn thing, so... he gave up.
I don't understand, Chief. How?
How do you lose to that thing? We know. Story. Doesn't have to make sense.
No, I guess not. It's story. Whatever. It's Monster Hunter. I did not really come for the plot.
True.
Alright.
And who knows what Junior's doing.
Beating up Aptonauts.
Apparently so.
Don't worry, it's tight.
As far as some other characters in Moga Village, there's the guild girl, whose name is Aisha. She actually has a name.
Yes.
Believe it or not, I think most, if not all, of the guild girls in the Monster Hunter series actually have names. They just aren't mentioned in the game itself. You have to
look elsewhere.
Look elsewhere, yes. Her name is Aisha. She is originally from Moga Village, born and raised. She left to go to the city, presumably Locklack, I'm not sure, to train to work for the guild. And then she came back to Moga Village to be the guild liaison and help out Moga Village that way.
Which she does quite well.
Yes. And apparently she, at least at one point, had a little bit of a crush on the Argosy captain.
Go figure.
Yeah, I just read that, like, earlier today. She mentioned it, and I was like, oh, really?
Well, I mean, you gotta think about it. Argosy is a Wavarian.
Mm-hmm.
And he lives a lot longer, so even as a young girl, she saw him as this tall, handsome man, and he doesn't really age.
Not terribly, no.
So she grew up and he's still the same, so it's like, oh, hey. Yo.
Speaking of the Argosy captain.
Come check out how short my skirt is. Oh,
God.
Anyway, Argosy captain, what about
the Argosy captain, he is originally from the Wyverian Hub, which is one of the destinations you can send him to get stuff for you.
Yes.
He actually requests that you send him there as often as you can so he can see his family. Oh, yes, I know. As far as his crew, I think there's only one that you actually see. He's just a random guy. He speaks very broken English.
Well,
it's interesting to note, in the translations, in the English version of Monster Hunter Tri and Tri Ultimate, the Argosy captain speaks Japanese.
Broken Japanese.
Broken Japanese, but, well,
and then he
broken
tells you
English
what they mean.
With random bits. Not always.
Yeah, he does. Huh?
Not always. I've had to look up a few.
Oh, like what?
Romaji. Believe the latest one he kept saying was uasa, which means rumor.
Oh.
Rumor says da-da-da-da-da. But there's a couple different ones that he doesn't actually clarify.
All according to Keikaku. Keikaku means plan. But you actually do get to see another one of his crew in 3 Ultimate.
Yes, Neko means cat.
Neko means cat. And that is his name. Not just Neko. Neko means cat. It says it all there. And you're like,
I think his name is just Neko.
No, his name is Neko means cat.
According to him, it's Neko means tiger.
Well, of course. He wants to sound fierce. He's but a mere feline.
Yep, according to the captain and Neko, he was saved from drowning in the ocean by the captain, pulled him up out of the water, and became his disciple, as it were.
What was he doing on the ocean?
I have no idea. Nobody knows. He's a feline. Who the heck knows how he got there?
Oh, fair enough.
They just get into trouble, you know?
Yeah, that is true.
And apparently he learned dirty fencing from the captain.
Dirty fencing. I don't even want to know what this entails.
Well, he's always saying he's a master of dirty fencing. He's a swordsman.
He's a swordsman cat.
Yep. He also mentions that at one point he tried to style his hair like the captain's, but he kind of failed. Oh, Ren, that reminds me. Did I ever send you I think I did, the swap note background with Neko on it? Yes, you did,
okay,
and
good.
You drew something very questionable over
It's
him.
not my fault Capcom designed him like that. That's not my fault.
Anyway.
It's just the truth.
Terrible.
I know.
There's not much else to talk about for Moga Village. The armorer girl and the item seller girl both are absolutely obsessed with hunters for some strange reason.
Why wouldn't they be? That's their main source of income.
I guess, but they're like totally fanboy over you, or fangirl rather.
Why not? You're so hot in every aspect, even if you're a girl, or One thing I did like about Moga Village, apparently there was a trend in Locklack where people wanted to buy honey to get fat so they looked richer.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one of your things to get more honey, and it's like, wait.
Yep. You're selling honey because people are trying to get fat.
And apparently Moga has the best honey.
Mm-hmm.
Which is very interesting, so.
Yes, they do a lot of trade for such a tiny little out of the way Nobody actually knows where the heck Moga Village is. They haven't put it on a map yet. Capcom,
Well,
get on that.
Is there a world map?
There is, but it hasn't been updated since, Freedom Unite. So, we don't know where Moga is, we don't know where Yukumo is, we don't know where Log Black is.
We should mention that map. I'd like to put it up.
Okay, I'll send you a link and you can put it in the video if you want, or you can put it in the description.
Thank you.
But, yes. Moving on then to Log Black, I suppose.
Yes. Log Black. I do like Tanzia. But I don't know. Log Black just gave a really majestic feeling when you first got there because it's big.
It is,
and you see that big dragon piece. I'm not going to say Jim Moran anymore. We can
whatever it is. We'll get into that in a moment.
Well, we got into it last time, but yeah.
Yeah, well, we talk about it in the video too, but that we'll show later when we actually got some last hunt in Monster Hunter Tri together, and you guys can watch that after.
Something like that.
Something like that. But, yeah. Anyway, Log Black. I was a little disappointed that they didn't do a nice big cinematic for Tanzia Port the way they did with Log Black.
Yeah, I was kind of curious. I wanted to see more of like what's out in the ocean, because you can only get a glimpse. Because it kind of looks like the same tusk. Out in the middle of the ocean almost. Like, that big rock reminded me of the tusk.
You sure you're not thinking of the lighthouse?
Is that I thought it was a rock.
Tanzia Port has a gigantic lighthouse.
That explains everything.
Anyway.
Yeah, Tanzia is cool.
Let's see here.
Log
Black.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't like how you don't have a house.
Yeah, there's no player housing in Tanzia.
Nope. Okay, go on. Log Black.
But anyway, Monster Hunter Tri, Log Black. Forget about Tanzia Port right now. Let's see. Tanzia Port, they have a lot of sand ships. And the big old dragon boat. I love this opening cinematic for Log Black. It's so much variety in there. What they did, they have all these hunters and all these different armors. If you're careful, you can pick out, oh, there's a guy in Diablos armor. You know? And there's a guy in something else. I don't know, Baroth armor or whatever.
Something else.
But yeah, I just love how much detail they put into that. I thought it was awesome. But yeah, the dragon boats. Something interesting about the dragon boats. Basically, the only reason they can sail through the sand in the first place is because of Jin Moran.
Yes, because he stirs up the sand so much that it's like water.
Pretty much. He's kind of like a giant earthworm, basically.
Wow.
He swims through the sand with his mouth hanging wide open and just swallows everything, including all the sand. And, gets anything digestible to eat out of it, and then he expels the sand through the Japanese site called it fumaroles in his body, which I suppose is apt for something as mountainous as Jin Moran. But a fumarole is a opening in the Earth's crust where volcanic gases are released.
That's kind of cool. So maybe if you think about it, well, I guess it's just along his body, but if I wanted to say it might be along his spine or something, which would be interesting because that could explain why the oars end up there, but they just form. But who knows?
Yeah, it doesn't really show, at least not that I've seen.
Nope.
I don't know, maybe one of the ecology books has it, but I haven't seen any of those, so yes. So he's basically a gigantic earthworm.
That's pretty gross.
And he grinds up the sand, and it makes it so fine that it kind of acts like water, and then you can just sail right through it.
And that's why when you get knocked off the ship, you fall into the sand. And you have to...
And then you get dragged along behind it in rather hilarious fashion.
Yeah.
That would have to be very uncomfortable.
Better than just being left behind, as certain comics have shown.
Yes. But anyway, speaking of Jin Moran, in the middle of Log Black there is a lake, and sticking out of the lake is a gigantic tusk.
Yes.
Which we assume is Jin Moran's. We're not entirely certain.
But, as I said earlier, I don't want to call it Jin Moran anymore because the Monster Hunter 4 trailer has shown us a possible Elder Dragon, or a monster, I should just say, for now, that has a single tusk very, very similar to the one sticking out of the lake. Now, it's been said that maybe the Jin Moran, that's his tusk, and just, the sand eroded over time. It looks like that now. But I don't know, because the new monster, his tusk is very long. It's very jagged like that. So take it as you will, but it is a monster tusk stuck into the ground so deeply, water sprang forth in the middle of the desert.
Yep, it struck water when the beast crashed into the rocks.
Yep, that's horrifying.
Presumably happened during the Dragon War. It had to be a really, really big Jin Moran. He's big enough to begin with, but for a tusk that size, yeah, it's big.
Yeah, it is very large. Even
and may also explain why Jin's weapons are all water elements.
Why is that?
Because it struck water when it hit the lake.
But there we go.
There you go.
I like that. I like that a lot. And then they just built Locklak around that.
I think Locklak was actually there already.
Was it?
According from what I've read, yeah.
I thought they built
in some form. I'm sure the lake helped their economy quite a bit.
Yes,
made it a bit more livable in the middle of the desert. Water is kind of important. So yeah, but that's the history of Locklak.
What other towns were there? There was it Minigard? How would you pronounce
Minegard.
it? Would you just say Minegard?
Minegard.
Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, but those are from Monster Hunter 1 and 2 and all the others. We'll get into them. We'll have episodes for them.
Okay, because I would like to touch upon the older ones too.
We definitely will. And especially Jumbo Village, because it's one of my favorites. And there's a lot to talk about with Jumbo Village. They compared to any of the other games, they really went crazy with the detail as far as the characters go in Jumbo Village. But anyway, we'll talk about it another time.
Story-driven plot. Yeah.
Speaking of characters, there's a few notable characters in Locklak. There is the opulent hunter that is everyone's favorite.
In case you don't know the actual name, she is the lady. It's a lady, right?
Yes.
Okay, I was just making sure. She is the lady that you will... Okay, you go down the armor smith from the tavern. And then when you're coming back up, you'll talk to someone and you don't see them. And you will get like, okay, it's over. And then you'll go to move again, hit A to exit, and you'll talk to her again. You'll be like,
Yep, she was the one who got in your way all the time when you're trying to get out of the armory.
I'm like, Capcom, come on, man, what are we doing here? Why are we doing this to each other? I just want to get out of here, go on.
There is also the uppity instructor, who is the one who was trying to get rich off of Master Cola, I believe it was, that he invented. Which, they call it cola in the translated version, but if you drink it, if you drink, you get drinks when you're eating, before you go off on a quest, your character will start getting drunk. Clearly, it was not cola in the Japanese version.
No, indeed. Plus, wait, the uppity hunter returns in Tanzia.
Yes, he does.
Yes, with his golden brown skin. As he describes it.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got some good dialogue. But he does return.
Yes, he makes a return.
Who else?
Let's see. There's the Haiku Guildmaster.
Oh, God.
The Guildmaster and his wonderful haiku. And he just randomly screams for some reason.
Always a weirdo. Okay.
Yep. There's the tool. What? I forget what his name was. He sold like the tools and stuff, and he had the Jamaican accent.
Oh yeah, the Jamaican guy.
Yeah, who later tells you that his Jamaican accent is totally fake, and he just puts it on because it gets customers.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yep.
And you can see him in the intro to Locklak. He's holding up the pickaxe, I believe.
And making very strange noises.
Yes, don't mind those.
But that's about it.
Oh, and the what is it? Is it the craftsman? The one across from the Jamaican.
Oh, the one with the frog on his head.
Yes.
The combo guy.
He's a Wavarian, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Yep, he's an older Wyverian. I want to say he was in one of the other games. But I forget which. I think he was in Minegard, actually, but I'm not sure.
It's been too long for me to remember. I'll look into it. Maybe he was.
I think he was.
Maybe he migrated over to Locklack.
Maybe.
One other thing, as we said earlier, guest houses. There were 3 levels. You had your basic one, which is a bed in a stable for the most part.
Pretty much.
The second one, I kind of like the second one the most because it's quaint.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a cozier, but it's still smaller room, and you can put up a couple decorations here and there. You got your bed, you got a chest, and then the third one is your lavish, and I mean lavish, like mansion.
Yeah, it's a palace, basically.
It really is. You walk in, you've got the drapes coming down. You can put like almost all your decorations. Well, no, a good bit of your decorations up. You got the table with the feast. You're overlooking the lake and the tusk stuck in it.
Mm-hmm. And white marble polished floors.
White marble.
Mm-hmm.
My God.
And a gigantic bed with
the drapes.
a canopy over it. Yep.
Yes. Oh, and you could visit other players' houses.
Mm-hmm.
So that was always nice. If it wasn't set to private.
Yes.
Which I don't know why you would. So I think that's about it.
Pretty much, as far as Locklack goes.
Yes. So we bid you a farewell.
Hey, we're not done yet.
No. I was talking farewell to Locklack.
Ah, yes. Farewell to Locklack. We shall miss you.
Well,
You
okay.
and-
Now
you
that
and your- And your sandstorms.
now that my goodbye is ruined to Locklack, I guess we'll move on to the next segment.
Which is, tell us some of your favorite stories from Monster Hunter Tri.
Yes. So what is yours, Ren?
I have a couple. I've already mentioned several on previous episodes and the Pocket Players episodes and what have you. And in the hunt that we will show later. Let's see. One I haven't told yet, I think. Have I told about the exploding Devil Joe tail?
No, I want to hear this.
Oh, you were there.
Oh, was
Yes. Yes, we were hunting a Devil Joe.
Okay.
And we needed his tail. And we put him to sleep the first time, put the bombs on his face and blew him up. And I got him to sleep a second time. I was gutting. And I got him to sleep a second time, and since his face was already broken, we were like, let's put the bombs around his tail instead.
Oh, this.
Yes, and our good friend Dryden was great sorting. And we're like, hey Dryden, set off the bombs with a cut to his tail. He's like, okay.
Level 3.
So he triple charges up. And Joe went one way, his tail went the other, and Dryden went a third.
And it was quite a thing.
It was quite hilarious.
Oh, I was like explaining to... Oh, the bombs.
Yep, the bombs.
Oh.
How about a story from you, Mr. Adele?
Actually, I'm going to use one from Ultimate that happened, today, actually.
Mm.
What was I doing? I was hunting a Barioth, and I was trying to get its tail, so I'm long sorting, but it just kept backing up into the corner. And the next thing I know, I see it come lunging forward and a boomerang go flying past me. And apparently, Kayamba had taken it upon himself to cut off the tail. And I'm just like, oh, well, goodness gracious, Kayamba. I will say, as much as I love Cha-Cha, Kayamba is my new favorite.
He is pretty cute.
Oh, I also want to mention that I got my friend Monster Hunter 3U.
Mm.
And we actually went hunting last night.
Oh.
Together on the multiplayer. It was so much fun.
Cool.
So if you have a friend in the local area or on the internet, do be sure to hook up with them, play, because I will say slaying 20 bullfingers with a friend is hilarious.
Oh no.
Especially when this is like her first serious Monster Hunter. And she was like, what's happening? I'm taking so much damage. I'm gonna die. I'm like, it's just Bullfangos and Renopolis. You'll be fine. And I look at her health, I'm like, oh, you might actually die.
Yes, I was playing with Sierra, who also got a friend of ours, your girlfriend, actually.
Yes.
I got her Monster Hunter, and we were playing the other day. And I pretty much carried her through a Kurapeka quest.
I am not going to carry... I could just tell them what, just hang out at base. I'll tell you when it's done.
No, she was there. She was smacking it, but,
And bouncing.
And bouncing.
Mm.
But,
yeah, as we've learned, starting gear, iron swords particularly, don't really work well against a lot of monsters.
And then the Pekko summoned a Raytheon.
Oh. Yeah, we did the Deliver 3 Reverne egg hunt, and we kind of messed up. Like, she grabbed the egg, and then a Jaggy hit her. I'm like, oh, no. And she hadn't gotten the lander skill.
Oh.
And I told her, like, eat this, and we'll get the lander. She didn't get it. I'm like, uh-oh. So I could take the shortcut off to 5, but she had to go through 7, 3, 2, and then base.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
By the way, if any of you people are new to Monster Hunter and are having trouble with the egg carrying quests in Monster Hunter Tri-Ultimate and that, you have no idea.
Well,
the egg carrying quests in the original Monster Hunter were horrible.
Oh. Yeah, we don't talk
God.
about those.
Yeah, no.
Ever.
But
maybe I'll
of
do that one day. But I'm sorry, speaking of
newbies,
mm-hmm.
one of my other favorite stories from Monster Hunter Tri. Well, I don't know about favorite. It was certainly an interesting experience. But I was trying to get some Diablos part off of something, and nobody was online as far as my friends go. So I went into a random room, and I got into this room, and it's this one guy who had a sword and shield, and this other guy, I don't even remember what he had, but he was being just a total jerk.
Oh, as usual.
As usual. And it's terrible. It's like, you know what, screw him. We'll duo the frickin' Diablos, because I can't stand this guy. So we went in there, and this guy, the other guy, he had a poison sword and shield on a Diablos.
I like it.
Oh my god. And I was gunning.
Right.
But we actually ran out of time.
How do you even run out of time?
You gun. And you have a guy with a poison sword and shield who can't do anything against
I was thinking about that today. Like, certain monsters, I would never bring a certain weapon to. Like, with Diablos, I actually straight up thought I would never bring a sword and shield.
Mm.
You couldn't do anything. You'd literally have to hit his legs until he fell over, and then you could do something.
Right.
You can't cut anything. Your sword's too short. You can't stun him. You're too short.
Pretty much.
So, like, maybe I'd even dual sword him before that.
Yeah. I would too, but I'm just crazy like that with my dual blades. But
yeah, I would never dual blade, though.
But yeah, I usually gun Diablos.
It's not bad. You keep your distance because he is quite a scary monster.
Oh yes, and he charges so much, and it's very nice to have something you just spin around, take a couple pot shots, roll out of the way, spin around, take a couple more pot shots at him.
One thing I will miss is I'm really surprised they didn't put Tigrex in this game. That and Black Diablos.
Black Diablos is in Tri-Ultimate.
Is he?
Or you mean, yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, Black Diablos is in Tri-Ultimate, but...
I hate Black Diablos.
But they did take out Tigrex, which a lot of people were rather disappointed about.
I liked him because, he could be in the Tundra, he could be in the volcano, and then Black Tigrex, that roar, we know about that roar.
We know about that roar.
For anyone who's not fought a Black Tigrex, his roar doesn't just stun you, it knocks you away and deals a decent amount of damage. Which is like, wait, this is a roar, hang on a minute.
Yeah, he has, like, explosive roar.
Yes, so even having earplugs isn't going to save you if you're directly in front of him, because you will get hit with it and hurt.
Yep.
So, that was a fun time.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Any more Tri stories from you?
Other than catching you guys off guard when I killed that Elatrian in one hit, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun fact, I cheated in Tri, just, be a dick. And it was hilarious when I was like, guys, go back to base. Why? I got this. Oh, okay, Dale. Do.
He does these kind of things.
I was looking for that one where I could just, like, kickbox Devil Joe in the face and his tail would pop off. I wanted that so badly, but... oh, well. So, yeah, I think that wraps it up. Remember, Fortnite question is, what is your favorite armor... I guess your favorite armor set and your favorite armor skill. Or, either or. It could be for aesthetics. It could be for the amazing skills it gives. Maybe you just like Awaken a bit more than the next guy. You know, we'll post it on the forums. Leave us your answers there. And I guess Ren and I will try to get on recording more multiplayer sessions ASAP. But
we need hardware.
Yeah, we need hardware. So we're starting a Kickstarter right now. Even Ren didn't know about it. We need $25,000. No. This isn't some Skullgirl stuff. I don't need money to do stuff. We have jobs. I would say we take donations, but I'm sure our boss would yell at us.
Probably.
Yeah, definitely. I don't need Casey yelling at me.
No.
Not
a good
Okay. Alright, so if you have any stories to share from Lock Lag, you know, leave it in the comments below on the forums. Lock Lag, Try, you know, whatever. Your fond memories, I suppose.
Fond memories of Monster Hunter Try. And
maybe that would be a better Fortnite question.
Your favorite memories from Monster Hunter Try?
What is your favorite memory from Monster Hunter Try? I have nothing against 3U, but we're talking about Lock Lag and Try, so let's keep it to that. What is your favorite memory from Monster Hunter Try on the Wii?
There you go.
If you played it. So, well, our sporadic scheduling does continue. And I guess we'll try again for 2 weeks.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So it's been a good episode.
Yep.
And remember, hunters, don't forget the Felvine bomb. I was thinking that could be our quote, but anyway, I'm Adele.
I am Ren.
And we'll catch you guys next time.
See ya.